गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Gyaneshwari, chapter 18, verse number 61, I think. 61, OV number 1307. And here the verse went, Iswara Sarvabhutanam Hruddesharjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. Till yesterday, last week, we were seeing Iswara Sarvabhutanam Hruddesharjuna Tishtati. Discover that this Iswara is all pervasive and he is the essence of everything, Sarvabhutanam. And how is he the essence of everything? By being the material and the efficient cause of the creation. And where is he located? He is located in the heart of everything. He is the cause of all causes. Just like water is the essence of all the waves and oceans and ice, same way this Iswara is all that there is. He is all that there is. There is nothing. But if you take it as Purusha Prakriti, if you take creation as Purusha Prakriti, these two different the aspects, the wielder of the potentiality and the potentiality, then when you take that, there also we will see that the Prakriti gets initiated into manifestation or unmanifestation only because of the Purusha principle, just as your mind becomes manifest in waking and dream and becomes unmanifest in deep sleep only because of life. That life is the Jiva Bhav. That Jiva Bhav is nothing but Chidabhasa. It is the reflected consciousness. Reflected consciousness automatically denotes reflection of someone. Who is that? That is the ultimate. That is the divine. That is the infinite. That is the Iswara, if you want to call him that. So everything on one angle, if you take duality, from that point, everything in that duality is, if you bring the entire world of duality into to the ultimate, to the cause, of the main cause, it is aham and idam. That aham and idam, Purusha Prakriti at the totality level. Idam is always changing, aham is always constant. I is always constant, idam is always changing. But I is thinking that I am changing. Why? Because he is identified with the changing. This is where the mistake is. And when he considers himself to be the changing person, then he wills. He desires not to change, to be immortal. When this thought comes, or he's changing, he's interacting, he's creating relationships, he's accepting that he is the phenomena who is born, who is going to die. He doesn't want to die. So before he dies, if he transforms his thinking He transforms his desires. He transforms his will to reflect the will of the divine. That is story over. Then purification starts happening. See? So, our life, we are continuously moving, but which way is our direction of our life? It is, I told you, do this. I told you, don't do this. Why don't you follow? Where should be our attention? How I am of the nature of the divine. And leave everything in this world, because nothing can be sorted, nothing can be worked out. We are talking from seeker's point of view, right? And then you will say, oh, if we leave the world, then don't we have the responsibility to do what we have to do? Don't we have the responsibility for the world? Don't we educate our children? Don't we do this? Don't we do that? And Arjuna was also speaking the same language. That is it a responsible behavior that I kill all these people? It's not responsible, therefore I will not fight. And towards that, the Lord is saying, Iswara Sarva. Before he talked about Prarabdha, he talked about your Swabhava. Swabhava is of the identified self. Swabhava is the identified self. Swarup is the disidentified self, who is always the constant. See? Come to that. So are you Swabhav? Are you the father, mother, daughter, sister? Or are you the man or the woman? Are you the senses, the effect, or are you the cause? Are you the thoughts, or are you the observer of the thoughts? Are you the aham, or are you the idam? Are you the constant, or are you the changing? And what are we, if you are all here listening on on Zoom or here? What are we? If you are nodding, you are listening, you have come to the satsang, you are the one essentially infinite, essentially divine, but feeling as if identified with this equipment, have taken this reality that I am this body, have taken this reality, accepted this reality that I was born, and therefore I've got to do this, that, but that has not given you satisfaction. Therefore you come to this satsang and you hear, and you enjoy hearing someone telling you, you are divine in essence. Yeah, I'm divine. But I don't want to give up my body, I don't want to give up my gulab jamun. I don't want to give up my idli sambar. Yeah, I want to know that I am the divine. But in that journey, in that recognition of the divine, will I have to lose all the things that I like or dislike? Yes. Then let me maintain little bit there and little bit here. This is our story. You understand? This is the game that we are playing with ourselves. We are playing this game with ourselves and subjected to birth after birth after birth. The Lord Iswara is playing the game with himself, not subjected to birth and death or rebirth. He takes incarnation out of his own free will. It is his game. He knows nothing has happened. See? And this is what we are looking at in this verse. So here, where are we? 130, 6 or 7. Suta sute guntale तृण तृणची बांधले का आत्मबिंबा घेतले बाळके जळी तया परी देहाकारे आपण पेची दुसरे देखोनी जीव आविष्करे आत्मबुद्धी ऐसेनी शरीराकारी यंत्रीभूते अवधारी बाहूनी हालवी दोरी प्राचीनाची तेथ जयात जे कर्मसूत्र मांडूनी ठेविले स्वतंत्र ते तिये गती पात्र होची लागे किंबहुना धनुर्धरा भूतांते स्वर्ग संसारा माझी भोवंडी तृणे वारा आकाशी जैसा. Here he says, just as the thread should get entangled in the just as the thread should get entangled in the thread, or a blade of grass should bind another, or a child should try to catch hold of its reflection in water, so the self adopts that body form though separate from him. Self adopts, identifies with the body form even though it is separate from him. This is the first sin. If you want to take it that way, this is the original sin. Not man and woman. Here, woman means the potency, the potentiality, the phenomena, the maya, the prakriti. Identifying with prakriti and considering yourself to be that prakriti is the original sin. See? So these are the different examples. See, yesterday also similar thought came, and that was the sense objects are greater than the senses. In Kathopanishad, sense objects are greater than the senses. How can you say sense objects are greater than the senses? My senses are seeing the sense objects. So how can they become greater? I am the illuminator. This is what we say no all the time. Isn't it? But just don't go to the self. Only from the sense point of view, what is the whole world made up of? Space, air, fire, water, earth. What are your eyes made up of? Space, air, fire, water, earth. So that's those five elements. On one side, they have become the sense objects. On another side, they themselves have become the illuminator of the sense object. You have two eyes. How many sense objects are there? Infinite. Which is greater? See? Sense objects can independently exist whether you look at them or not. Your eyes, can they exist? Do they have any function if there is nothing to see? Do they not keep wanting to see beautiful things, beautiful places, beautiful objects, beautiful ornaments, beautiful rainbow? So eyes are continuously engaged with something, and whatever they are engaged with, see, they tend to identify with. See, so they are dependent on the sense objects. Sense objects are not dependent on the eyes, but there is some mutual relationship. There is the coexistence. Just like aham and idam, there is a coexistence. There is a coexistence. Both are thoughts. Objects are also thought. Subject, I, is also thought. I see the phone. So I is a thought, see is a thought, phone is also a thought. So it's a simple statement. I see a thought, I see the phone. Then how come I have the subject? See? So who is the one? The subject is, So when we talk about coexistence, subject comes with the object, no doubt. But are you the thought or are you the observer of the thought? That I see the phone, this thought, 3 thoughts you have observed, or are you being the I thought? Nobody is being the I thought. Nobody is being the seer. Nobody is being the waker, dreamer, sleeper. Nobody is being. He is becoming the waker. When identified with the waking world, which includes this waking body, that waking body which is a part of this world, the I identifies and takes on a role, a referential role called the waker. Same thing he is doing in the dream also. And this is absent in the deep sleep. See? So whenever some thought is coming, how do you know the thought? How do you know the thought when a thought is appearing in the mind? How do you know there are objects in this room? Because light is reflecting on it, isn't it? Correct? So how do you know? Thought is an object. So how do you know thoughts are coming in the mind? There is light of the self reflecting on the thoughts which are appearing in the mind. Which is this light which is reflecting on the thoughts which are coming and going in the mind? This light is of the reflected consciousness. यहाँ पे क्या बोला उन्होंने? Here some word came here. का आत्मबिंबा घेतले. Atmabimba. Bimba means reflection. Atma means the self. So the self gets reflected in each thought. In each thought. That's why the thought becomes available to you. Instead of being available to the Atma which is independent of the thoughts, because the Atma is reflecting on the object. Can you see yourself just by yourself? No, you need a reflection, isn't it? Mirror. So mirror is available. So are these thoughts which are coming and going in the mind, each one is becoming available to us because the self which is reflecting. So what is that? That is the reflected self. See, that reflected self thinks it is continuous. It forgets that it is the non-changing one. Reflection means today only I met someone and she brought some halwa for me, and not home, someone's house I had gone, and she says, Swamiji, I've just become widowed. And by she didn't even complete the sentence. Before widowed, immediately Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati. 1 year ago, my husband passed away. We lived together for 51 years. And I'm missing him. And live in the memory or live in the moment. This is what I is doing. A person marries another person, then divorces, but can't stay alone, then marries again, then divorces, then can't stay alone, then marries again. How many people you have come across in the news? Why? They are identified with the husband role or the wife role. They want to keep. Divorce हो गया, इसके साथ नहीं हो रहा यार. चलो, next one. This is what I is doing. I is getting identified. चला गया, next thought. Now remember, in divorce and all, that is just an example. You are bringing it about. But here, It is happening. And this continuous reflection, thought after thought after thought after thought after thought after thought, from morning till evening, day in and day out, it feels as if it is continuous reflection. That is the Jiva Bhav. You understand? And actually you are the constant. You are not the reflection. Reflection is of something. That reflection of what? Of the constant. And here the constant, either you take it as Atma or you take it as Iswara. Just as the sun is one, but he reflects in many buckets of water. Those reflections have taken the bucket to be real. I am the bucket. I am the water. I am the turbulation in the water. I am the calmness in the water. That's what we say, no? I am calm. I am meditative. I am agitated. I am depressed. Who is saying all this? The reflected one. Who are you? The original one. Original meaning the constant one. Now, this is the entire story. Remember, we are concluding Bhagavad Gita. This is the entire story. One more point will be made in the next few verses, few OVs. Now, this is one understanding. Next understanding, I think I told last week, but if I have forgotten, it benefits me. I will repeat it again. So here he says, just as the thread should get entangled in the thread, water entangling with water is called a wave. Gold entangling with gold is called an ornament. Thread gets entangled with thread, or a blade of grass should bind another. You know, when we do Ganapati Puja, we collect the 21 Durvas blades with 3 blades of grass. So you break it from the bottom, 21 of those, and then you take the 22nd and you tie it around and give it to Ganesha. So, who has bound the grass? 21 pieces? The same grass. What is the difference between the one who is tying the grass that is used for tying the other 21 blades of grasses? All are grass. This is what has happened to us also. Or a child should try to catch hold of its reflection in water. Is it possible? Why only water? Even in the mirror? Are you that magpie? A magpie you don't get anywhere else except Australia. What does it do? Come, if you don't, come to 1 Wolseley Avenue. She comes in the daytime, and because the sun is so bright, it sees its own reflection in the sliding doors. And thinking that there is a competitor in the glass, it keeps pecking on it. It wants to fight it. And it becomes obsessed by it, meaning identified with its own reflection, and bleeds by pecking with the beak again and again and again and again. We are like that. We are bleeding. What is bleeding? Someone told me. Yesterday I came back from Sydney. Someone immediately, Swamiji, this person's birthday. How old is he? 55. I said, I don't wish senior citizens' birthday. I'm not senior citizen. I said, who cares? For me, you are. If you are asking for birthday, you are a senior citizen. If you are asking for a wish, our Santa, Dr. Santa, she's staying with us. She said, Swami, I was in Sydney that time. Swamiji, it is my happy birthday. It is 61st. I said, happy death day. Oh, how can you say that I am dying? But smart woman, in 10 seconds, she flipped. Yes, you are right. But I'm going to cut the cake. They have brought the cake, I didn't go buy. They brought. I said, yeah, so enjoy that you have lived nicely the last 65 years and only few more left. Add more value to your life. Turn Godwards, that you are alive to turn Godwards. Still the opportunity is there. Majority of the people, they go away without taking that opportunity. See? So just like a child is we are also trying to catch, like that child who wants to catch his reflection in the river, like that bird who wants to fight and shoo away his own reflection thinking it is another. Same way, we want to create relationship with objects of the world thinking they are other than us. Ishwar does not have this problem because he is the material of everything. Individual has this problem because he entertains duality. Duality is a phenomena. It happens. It happens. It's, so Prakriti, Maya of the Iswara, that is where the duality happens. But is Iswara affected by it? No. Hruddeshe tishtati, Iswara Sarvabhutanam. If Iswara is sitting in our heart, situated in our heart, then how come we are getting affected by the Prakriti, by matter, by nature? How come we are getting affected? Somewhere, something is not right. Somewhere our approach is wrong. Our outlook towards life is wrong. See? All our activity must bring us back to ourselves, or initial stages. Second stage is all activity is happening or not happening, that is called phenomena. I am the eternal witness. I am the eternal witness. If you can't do that, hold on to the Lord. He will make it reveal by His grace alone. Even to be the witness, being a witness is not our individual cannot become a witness. So all those who say, I am aware, but all bullshit they're talking about. It is only by grace that it happens, that you disentangle. Once the grass recognizes, it says, I am tired. What was tying it? Grass alone. Once it recognizes the one who's tying and the one who's tied is both grass, will it fight being tied? Once the wave recognizes that it is nothing but the water, will it fight not being a wave? मजेदार है to contemplate in this way. Suddenly everything, you can't hold on to anything then. So a child should try to catch hold of his reflection in the water. Can you catch the reflection in the water? Can you catch the reflection in the mirror? And here we are. We want to train our children. We want to control our husband or wife. We want to control our life. We want to give direction to our life. It's like giving direction to the reflection. It is like catching the non-existent reflection in the water. And we are Everything around us is changing and we are trying to hold it. That is what creates the stress. That is what is creating the dissatisfaction in every one of us. And we are coming to satsang. Maybe here we'll get the answer. You are the answer to yourself. You can't get the answer from outside. You are the answer to yourself. You have to recognize that. Not as the body, not as the breath, not as the mind, not as the intellect, not as the reflection. You are one without a second. You are that. And where are we looking for the answer? Outside. But they have said, Bhash Govindam says, Satsangatve Nisangatvam Nisangatve Nirmohatvam Nirmohatve Nishchalatatvam Nishchalatatve Jivan Mukti. Should we not do satsang? Please do. But don't get addicted to it. Don't whenever we get habituated by something, we stop being alert about it. It becomes a default setting. Like some people sitting in a satsang, moment 2-3 minutes pass, oh man, and they can't keep their eyes closed. And they have learned and perfected sitting straight and keeping the eyes closed and going to sleep. And then suddenly some point is made and everyone laughs, or the teacher makes a thundering sound. Suddenly he wakes up and he also nods. He has not heard anything. Or if everyone is laughing, he also starts laughing. He has not heard the joke. This is how we are. This is how we are. You cannot catch the world. You cannot, just as you cannot catch the reflection is a phenomena. Similarly, you cannot catch the objectivity. And that's what we are trying to do. Catch the money, catch the memories, catch the world, catch the future. I want to be set for future. What set for future? Watch how the inflation goes up now. Watch what the value of the currency. I saved and saved and saved and saved and saved, and now in Turkey they saved and saved and saved. Now the value, the lira value there has gone down by 70%. Now what is the value? That means one loaf of bread is costing you 70% more. Is that not happening in Australia also right now? So what are you going to catch? So you spend all your life saving, accumulating, only to find that it is worthless afterwards. Same thing. Don't run after the world. Be the original. The next example is taken, or a child should try to catch hold of its reflection in water, so the self adopts that body form though separate from him, with the notion of identity with it. So self is reflecting in the thought, self is reflecting in the mind, self is reflecting in the intellect, self is reflecting in the senses, self is reflecting in the body. But self is reflecting in the world also. But can you catch yourself there? You are trying to catch yourself through the wife by being the husband. So phenomena is trying to catch another phenomena and create a relationship. Both don't exist. बेवकूफ है यार. Both don't exist. And this is what is going on. This is what is going on. The blade of grass is holding on to other blade of grass. But the nature of both is same. How can the same thing get identified with the same thing? Not possible. So where is this differentiation coming about? This is at the sensory level, no? You are perceiving it. But what is the truth? Exactly here it is said that so the self adopts the body form, self identifies with the body form. So this is the reflected self, Atma Bimba. The reflected self adopts, identifies, accepts the body form as I. And then body form, even though that body form is separate to it, yet the water is not the wave. Water is always water. But it has started taking the form as I. The moment it takes form as I, it forgets that it is the infinite waters or it is the total waters. The moment it takes that I am only this form, then oh my God, all of the other forms are in competition with me. They want to displace me from where I am. And he watches around. Oh, he's dying. Oh, he's dying. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that means I'm also going to die. I don't want to die. Then you come to Samidha's house. Samidha means the stick, the wood which is put in the fire. So you are the wood. You are the wood. You are the wood. Come, burn. Parag. Then what will come out when you start burning? As you purify, purification happens where there is burning, isn't it? Then what? Then fragrance will come out. As you purify, fragrance will come out. So here, so the self adopts that body form, though separate from him, with the notion of identity with it. In this way, by mounting the beings on the mechanism of the body, God pulls the strings in accordance with their past actions. Now, understand. From God's point of view, He is playing with Himself. Right? Yeah. Water is playing with it. Water. What did we just now say? That the self as if identifies with the body form, even though the body form is separate to it. So how does God become the puppeteer of the entire creation? How does God become the puppeteer at whose will the entire creation is dancing, is sporting, is playing? Answer. How does God, this is happening as long as you are in relativity, this is how you have to think. How that God, without getting disturbed, remaining transcendental to the creation, is making the creation go through the change.
All those changes are happening in my mind, not in God's mind.
Okay.
Through Maya?
Come one step below. Come one step below. Don't go into the mind.
Through Shakti, Maya, Swami?
Yeah. Through Shakti. He is not making. Again, one important point here. God is not telling Shakti to do anything. The nature of Shakti is manifestation and unmanifestation. Have you ever told your mind, wake up or go to sleep. When it gets tired, it goes to sleep. Sometimes in the waking also it can go to sleep. Sometimes in sleep you can wake up. So how does Lord, who is one without a second, make the game happen? So right now this is from our point of view looking. We're not looking at it from God's point of view. We are trying to suss it out. So first what was told? That the self is the reflection. Then it was told self is, you have the verse, what did the verse say? Yantra rudhani mayaya. So what you are saying is not wrong. What you are saying is also not wrong. But I'm taking it in what words I am looking for, they are not coming. That is very general, Maya. Okay, Maya. But we are not undone the whole equation. You have to open it up. How by Maya? How through Maya, the Lord, the Divine, is playing the game of, he is the master puppeteer. How?
With the three gunas.
No, three gunas are Prakriti, they are not of the Iswara.
That's Maya, isn't it?
Yeah, but remember one rule, Maya is a phenomena. Water is not making the waves come and go. Waves are coming and going by themselves.
It's through his power.
That is Maya only.
Through duality.
Duality is in the phenomena.
Yes, of course.
Yes. What is the missing link there? All this is correct what you are saying. I am not denying it. Huh?
He's not doing anything.
He is not doing anything, yet everything is going on, no? So we are not going into that transcendental thing. Is the mind doing anything when the dream is coming? And yet dream is happening. So many activities are happening. Birth and growth is happening. Memories are happening. People are born and people are dead in the dream. Is the mind doing anything? Yet everything is happening. Is the space doing anything? Yet the creation is continuously getting created and destroyed. Is space the doer? No. But within space, space is pervasive into everything. Without space, air, fire, water, earth, people, human beings, objects, nothing can exist. But is space doing anything? No. Even more so, Iswara is not doing anything.
He's just a sakshi, he's not doing anything, he's just witnessing it.
Good. So what happens in his presence? This is what we are looking at. How is, yes, when you say by his Maya, he is making the whole world play with itself. No, he is not making the world play itself. But if we want to use the word that he is making it play, then the question comes, how does he do it? Do you create the reflection in the mirror?
No.
But is it not your reflection in the mirror?
Yes.
So how does the Lord play with himself? By, bolo?
Reflection.
By reflecting in the manifestation of the Prakriti and the unmanifest. So remember just few minutes ago I was explaining every thought will appear and you know it only because there is a reflected consciousness. Without reflected consciousness you cannot know a thought. I cannot know any object in this room if there is no light falling on it. Understand? Similarly, I cannot come to know any object in the outside world, nor in this body, nor in the senses, nor in the thoughts, nor in the dream, if the reflected light is not illuminating it. So some light is not illuminating it. What is that light? Reflected light. Whose light? Either you say the self, or you say here in this verse it is Iswara Hriddeshe Tishtati. It is the one who is sitting inside, who is reflecting everything. In what is that in whose light you are seeing everything? He is that Iswara. Where is he located? In your heart. So how is the Lord playing with himself? Or he reflects in every object. And the moment he reflects, that object is activated. With the moment he reflects, the object is activated. And that activity, then once it gets activated, now the question is, that reflection gets identified with that activity, then he becomes an individual, the game goes on. But actually, nothing is going on. Actually, nothing is going on. And in between these two, that something is going on or nothing is going on, if we come to that point of silence, that poise, that everything is going on by the will of the divine, and he does everything without doing anything. He's just being there. The sun is just being there. Day and night are coming and going. Is the sun making the day and night happen? No. The self is there. The waking dream and deep sleep are coming and going every day. Are you making waking dream and deep sleep happen? No. But can waking dream and deep sleep happen without you? No. This is the game that is going on. Iswara Sarvabhutanam. Latch on yourself. As an individual, latch on to that one in whose reflection everything is taking place. So Yantra Rudani, so how does this equipment, body, breath, mind, intellect, this is object, isn't it? This is objectivity. This is the yantra, this is the mechanism, this is the machine. How does this machine get activated? The moment he reflects in the machine. How does the car get activated? The moment you sit and put the key on. What is the key? Reflection is the key. How does a thought get activated? Because of the reflection. See? And once this starts, then you get caught up in it. If you don't get caught up in it, it will slow down and you will come back to your original nature. What is the original nature? You will come back to the Iswara. If you are searching, who is this? Reflections are many. I am seeing so many objects. But light is one. Thoughts are many. But the knower of the thought is one. Who is this knower? Whose reflection is it? And when we are looking objectively, we say, oh, the Bhagwan is saying, it is me who is sitting there. Don't go back to the I. Because if you think of I, again you will lead to, whichever way you do, I don't care. Understand the principle that we are telling here. See? So, what is happening now? In the presence of the sun, the mechanism of day and night, in the presence of the sun, the going round of the planets, in the presence of the sun, the waking up or the sleep of the beings on the earth, all this activity is going on but is the sun doing anything? He is not doing anything. Similarly, in the presence of the Iswara, he is not doing anything. Whether you take Iswara or Atma, they are the non-doer. Yet, all activity is taking place in the objects, in the thought objects, or in the gross objects. And why is the activity taking place? because reflection is taking place. And this is how he controls the whole world. This is how he controls the whole creation. How? By reflecting. So, someone said just now before that it is through Maya, it becomes Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. But when he reflects in the Sattva, who is he? He is the Vishnu. When he reflects in the Rajasic Maya, who is he? He is the Brahma. When he reflects in the Tamasic Maya, who is he? He is the Rudra. When Maya is not Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, then what is it called? Avyakta, the unmanifest. Then who is he? He is the Iswara. So whether Maya multiplies into 3 and beyond, or it does not, goes back to being 0, Iswara continues to be Iswara because it is his potentiality. The phenomena, Maya means phenomena. Isko pakdo, take some ice cream, keep sucking. Who is eating the ice cream? I am eating the ice cream. Come back. Are you getting it? All those who are listening. कि ज़्यादा हो गया?
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you.
समझ गए तो? See, this is the conclusion of the 18th chapter. If you understand it, good. But Bhagwan is so compassionate that even after telling this, again he will tell something afterwards. In few verses time. Again he will give you even more succinct, a package deal, you know. This is the last few verses, this is the package deal of the total 17 chapters. Now whatever he has told in the last few verses, he will give you a package of that also. How more compassionate, graceful, how much concern he has for us. Look at it from his point of view. What concern? Chal raha hai. Everything is happening. But we take it seriously, you know. I want to surrender at your feet. I am your greatest devotee. I want to only think of you. It must be done also. But when you get to that point, nothing was there. Unnecessarily I created a journey for myself. Because I am all that there is. In this way, by mounting the beings on the mechanism of the body, yantro rudhani, yantra is the mechanism, arudha means sitting on it. Arudha means the horseman arudh, the horse. He sits on the horse and controls. How does God control the mechanism, which is the potentiality? By sitting in it as reflection. This is till here is God's creation. Till here is God's creation. Now that reflection says, I am the body. This is individual creation. God did not create that. You created it. Now you have to undo it. If you stand in front of the mirror, there will be reflection. But if that reflection says, I am the mirror, if reflection says, I am the mirror, I'm living in this world. What is the world? It looks and look, this is the whole world. Because the whole world is reflecting in the mirror. It starts taking that which is not there to be real. Now who's to be blamed? So till the reflection of the divine in the mechanism is God's creation. Identifying with the mechanism is individual creation. This comes in Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad. In this way, by mounting the beings on the mechanism of the body, God pulls the string in accordance with their past action. So, though now the self, the identified self is there. What is that identified self? What is it identified with? It's identified with this body. And what is the data on which this body is functioning? What is the
Memories.
correct memories, past actions, vasanas? And it is unstoppable. You cannot stop that. You cannot stop that. What is it? Whatever is the nature, if you are thinking that you are a compassionate person, you got the data blueprint of being a compassionate person. Then if your parents, like Buddha, when he was a young Siddhartha, he was forcefully married to his wife, he had a child also, but what was within him that started expressing? Swabhav. See? So what is the nature? If the equipment feels hunger, it will go and it will go for the food. If the equipment has to see, it will see. If it has to hear, it will hear. If it has to wake up or dream or sleep, it will do that because you got identified. And you are thinking, I am waking, I am sleeping, I am hungry, I am seeing, hearing, touching, feeling. But actually what is happening? Seeing, hearing, teaching, feeling, tasting, waking, dreaming, sleeping is happening.
On its own accord.
Yes. It's just a phenomena. It's going on. Just like day and night is happening in the presence of the sun, waking, dream and sleep are happening in the presence of the self or the divinity, the Iswara. By nature, Iswara and you are not separate. Hriddese tishtati. See? And how we are living? I am the body. I have to reduce my weight. I have to fix this. I have to fix that. I have to do this. I have to do that. Lage rehte hain. From morning till evening, we are only trying to fix this. Fix the mechanism. We are trying to fix, as Sai Baba used to say, we are trying to fix the infrastructure. Infrastructure we are not going to. What is the basis? What is the source? That we are not going to. This verse, Iswara Sarvabhutanam Ruddeshe Titishtati Brahmayan Yantra Rudhani. वही है ना ब्राह्मयन. क्या है वर्स? ब्राह्मयन सर्वभूतानि यंत्र रूढ़ानि मायया. And he makes the individual. By making the individual, by reflecting in the equipment, that individual then gets identified and he thinks, why I am born again? What is my purpose? Why am I different to this person? Why I as a child I didn't have these habits, but now I have got all these habits? Why? Here when he says that, here he says it is because of the past actions. Past actions of whom? Of the one who does not exist. The identified being is not there. It's a phenomena. That fellow is called Jiva. That fellow is called the ego. He's not there. The continuity, as I have told you many times before, the continuity is like you take a sparkler and you go around and you see a continuous circle. The circle is there, but actually it is not there. Same way, this ego seems to be there, but actually is not there. Then in its place, who is there? You, the divinity. Iswara is there. Then am I Iswara? Blasphemy. I think I'll be crucified. No. You are Iswara. Sanatana Dharma allows you. The one who has recognized that you are the Iswara, he is called a Mahatma. But he is also seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, waking, dreaming, going to toilet, saying, yeah, equipment is doing it. He knows that. You are looking at the equipment and saying that he is that. Why you are doing that? Because you think you are the equipment, so you are thinking Mahatma is also the equipment. See how deep it goes. Because you are only perceiving what you have trained yourself to. You change your you change your knowledge, you change your conviction, you change your own identity. Be focused on the Iswara, the continuous principle. Your experience will be different. Then you will also observe everything going on or not going on, but you continue to be. In this way, by mounting the beings on the mechanism of the body, God pulls the strings in accordance with their past actions. Then the being begins to move by virtue of the string which is exclusively earmarked for him according to his past deeds. According to your karma, according to your past deeds, the individual, here when they say being, it is the individual being the one who is born as a result of identification with the equipment. If he gets an identity that I am this body, that means karma has begun. See? You have stopped being the one and all. The moment you identify, you have concretized, you have crystallized. The infinite water, the moment it becomes, it is very cold, it becomes ice. It is very hot, it evaporates. Oh, I'm afraid of this height, then it drops as water. But all the time, it was water only. Where are we? Where are our contemplation going? Then the being begins to move by the virtue of the strings which is exclusively earmarked for him according to the past deeds. According to Yoga Sutra, what womb you are going to be born, because you are thinking of yourself as an identified person, with which womb you are going to be born, how many breaths you are going to take, what experiences you are going to go through in this life is predetermined. That means I got no choice. No. Equipment has got no choice. As long as you think you are the equipment has got no choice. It will keep going through whatever it has been programmed with. If I put a particular program in this computer cannot put a program for a computer. Someone else has to put the program for the computer. Oh, now there is AI. The AI will, it's also programmed. Yeah, but it's a higher program than this computer. But AI also was made by some intelligent person. Same way. The equipment is going according to its blueprint. What is the blueprint? That which is expressing in your life daily. Let it express. A realized master also expresses. He also sees, hears, touches, feels. He also gets angry. He also wakes, dreams and sleeps. He also may or may not express or not express. See? So we say, oh, Mahatma is saying, I want only gulab jamun, I don't want barfi. What type of Mahatma is he? What type of sannyasi is he? What type of, they say he is a realized master. What type of realized master is he? He has preferences for gulab jamun other than jalebi. Realized master, he should be one with everything. He should have got no likes and dislikes. Correct statement, isn't it? But who is saying this? Who is judging him? You. Who are you? If you are judging him, you are doing it from individual standpoint. Can an individual come to understand who is beyond? No. So all activities go on at the equipment level according to whatever the program it has been programmed with. But the self has transcended. Then how does a Mahatma function? He sees without becoming the seer. He goes through the waking state without becoming the waker. He goes through the dream state without becoming the dreamer. He goes through the sleep state without becoming the sleeper. Then what is he? He is the ultimate one. Where is the waking, dream and deep sleep going on? At the mind level. That is what people are observing. That his body has woken up. That this body has gone to sleep now. But where is this fellow? He is eternally awake. He is not only awake, he is eternally awake. Our attention is only on the equipment. Just as the wind makes a blade of grass whirl round and round in the sky, so God moves about between heaven and earth. So God moves between heaven and earth means he is playing with himself as if. Continuing. Now Brahmayan, what was the thing? Brahmayan Sarvabhutani. So he is moving around in the whole creation. Where is the creation? Between the heaven and the earth. That is what Brahmayan is going to be explained now. Where are we? Where? Brahmaka che nisange jaise loho vedharige taisi Iswara satta yoge cheshtati bhute jaise cheshta apuliya samudradika dhananjaya चेष्टति चंद्राचिया सन्निधि एकी तया सिंधु भरिते दाटे सोमकांता पाझरूप फुटे कुमुदांच कोरांचा फिटे संकोचुतो तैसी बीज प्रकृति वशे अनेके भूते ये के ईशे चेष्ट वीजती जो तो असे तुझ्या हृदयी अर्जुन पण न घेता मी ऐसे जे पंडुसुता उठत से ते सत्तत्वता तयाचे रूप. He says, just as iron is set in motion by the magnet, this I have given this example many times. One is two examples. This is one and one more I have given. Just as when a magnet is in the presence of the magnets, in the vicinity of the magnet, when the iron filings or the nails are there, they get activated. Is the magnet doing anything? No. But all the iron pieces or nails or iron filings which are lying in haphazard manner, all of them start moving. All of them change direction, all facing in the same way. And they start moving towards the magnet. Is the magnet making them move? No. Same way, when you take the comb, pass it through your hair, and you got some paper balls, small ones, on the floor, and you move the comb over them, they will start jumping. Is the comb making them jump? No. Just like when the sunshine comes, sun rises, all the sunflowers move, all the flowers move towards the sun. Is the sun making them, please look at me? No. He does not ask anyone to look at him. That's how when you come across evolved personalities, you get affected by them. You want to be in their presence. They are not asking anyone, but you automatically get affected by their energy, by their vibrations, by their effulgence, by the peace that you experience in their presence. He is not asking. No Mahatma is asking, please come and become my disciple. But we get affected. This is how it is. Just as the iron is set in motion by the magnet, so here they are still going at the basic level. They are talking about activity as magnet is not making anything become activated. Sun is not asking us to wake up, but in the presence of the sun, waking happens. In the presence of the magnet, the movement in the iron filings happens. See, same way here he says, where are we? So all the activities of being take place under the authority of the God. So wherever there is Iswara, there everything is moving around. Where there is sun, all the planets are going around him. Is he making them go around? No. He is not making them go around, but they are going around. All of them are facing the sun. All of them are attracted to the sun. All of them are going around the sun. All the thoughts are going around the self. All the body, breath, mind, the panchakoshas, where are they going on? Can they exist without the self? No. All the people and all the beings and all the inert objects and the whole universe of the dream, can it exist without the mind? No. Is the mind making it happen? No. It's happening. It's happening. So same way here, all the activities of beings takes place under the authority of God. Now this is our understanding. Instead of saying that I am doing, I am speaking, I am listening, I am understanding, our approach should be all activity is taking place by the will of the divine, in the presence of the divine. And where is that divine? Hruddeshe tishtati. He is sitting in our heart. Which activity? Not only the activity of the world, but all the activity within this equipment also. All that is, all activity, all movement, all change is phenomena. And all change is happening in the presence of the changeless. Are you the changing or are you the changeless? Living alertly contemplating on this is called discrimination. Discrimination means distinguishing between the changeless and the changing. So right now, when you are listening to this discourse, are you focusing on the changing or are you focused on the changeless? We forget, isn't it? We get carried away by the words. We get carried away by the examples. We get carried away by the understanding that is coming on account of the words. And in that process of appreciating what we are hearing or understanding, we forget to be the self, to be the constant, to be the changeless principle. Even when we go to the temple, we chant the name of the Lord or we do the arti, we forget Iswara Sarvabhutanam. We forget that He is the all-pervasive one. We think He is only that form. If you take him to be one form, then you have reduced him from his true nature. You have made him as you want him to be. Yes, you can use that statue, you can use that word, but only subjectively you can come to that realization by taking support of that word. So listen to these words, they are helpful, no doubt. Words means activity, words means change. So in my case, if this continuous flutter of words is happening, one after the other they are coming, am I the speaker or speaking is happening? In your case, am I the listener or listening is happening? Am I the understander or understanding at the intellectual level is happening? You are other than all this. Don't get carried away by understanding, don't get carried away by confusion, don't get carried away by seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, don't get carried away by any equipment, because the equipment is changing. Next class you will say, Swamiji, can you please repeat a little bit of last two lines? That means today you are nodding, by next week you have forgotten, changing again. In this world, nothing can last. Knowledge also cannot last. The knowledge which is collected, the knowledge through words cannot last. Self does not need to last. Divinity does not need to last, because it is the constant one. Yeah. Apply on this. Every moment we must be alert. Whatever you are working, whether you are doing japa, whether you are giving a lecture, whether you are cooking or cleaning or walking or whatever, continuous, incessant availability to the constant principle. Where are we? So all the activities of beings takes place under the authority of God. O Dhananjaya, just as in the proximity of the womb, the ocean and others start their activities. Example, the ocean gets into full tide, the moonstone begins to ooze, the night lotuses bloom, the chakora birds give up their reserve. In the same way, God goads the beings to act through the Prakriti. And how does he goad the beings to act through the Prakriti? Without doing anything, just by being there. Through the Prakriti, the same God abides in your heart, O Dhananjaya. The same Iswara is in your heart, in whose presence you, the Arjuna. Oh, so God is doing that, I'm not going to do anything. No, you as Arjuna, whatever Arjuna is programmed, whatever his blueprint is, he is a Kshatriya, he is a warrior, he is a fighter of evil, he is the establisher of Dharma. He cannot be stopped. So if you think you are going to run away from the battlefield, go. But Arjuna, he will make the Arjuna come back. So when you are running away from what your nature is, that is escapism. Then there is stress, there is strain, there is depression. But when you recognize, this is what is all the Lord's game, let happen whatever is happening. Wherever I am placed, I will put my 100%. Then you are in tune, the individual will is in tune with the divine will. Where is that possible? Only in the moment. Not in the past, not in the future, only in the moment. Wherever I am placed, I am available to function 100%. In such a manner to allow whatever happens, I see it as the divine will. So here he says, all those examples were taken. I have given you the example of the sun, and the God goads the beings to act through the Prakriti. The same God abides in your heart, O son of Pandu. The feeling which rises in your mind without allowing itself to be identified with Arjuna is the real aspect of God. The feeling that arises within you, in your mind without allowing itself to be identified with Arjuna. So what are the feelings that arise in you without being the father, without being the mother, without being the son, without being the body, breath, mind, intellect, without being the waker, dreamer, sleeper, without being the past or future, without any reference whatsoever? What is the feeling that is coming up? It has to be the divine. That is the divine will. That is your inner voice that we talk about. If it just from I'm giving, it's not even, you are pushed to do something. You're pushed in a particular direction in life, whether you like it or not. See? That is the divine will functioning itself out. If you are in tune with the divine will, how? As an individual who is identified with the equipment, thinking that all these equipment meaning body, breath, mind, intellect, and because of these there is a world. So all these equipments are functioning by his will. I am merely I am nobody. It is all his doing. So I keep thinking about him. Then your will and his will is in tune. And when it is his will, nothing can ever go wrong. He is playing with himself. He is playing with himself. You are trying to survive. You are trying to secure life for future. God doesn't try to secure his life for future. He is past, present and future. Have you recognized? If you are in tune with him who is sitting in your heart, the constant principle, the divine principle, the effulgent principle, the witnessing principle, the Sakshi principle, the illuminating principle, who is unfazed by whatever it is illuminating, everything is over. Enough for today. So you are Colin, you are Dinesh, you are Samida, you are Seema, everyone. Objects are there, but objects cannot know themselves. You are living beings. Where is your attention? Is it on the equipment or is it on that which is illuminating even this thought? Which thought? This thought which I just expressed. What was the last word? Word was the last word. Every thought is coming and expressing. Thought is inside the mind. That thought in the mind expresses the word from the mouth. With this understanding, now you take the name of the Lord. See what a big shift will take place. See. And as you start taking this, doing this, and as you come closer and closer to the divine, and that divine is all that there is, and you say, oh, everything is divine. What is wrong if I get married to that person? Everything is divine. I am divine. I met my Radha. और उसके बाद I met my Radha, but after that, complaining for the whole life. Whereas that it is the divine playing with the divine. The divine is meeting the divine. It is all you are hoodwinking yourself. We'll continue from 1316 in our next class. So here he says, therefore God will goad your prakriti, which will then compel you to fight. Individuality is a phenomena. What is the equipment? The sparkler is the equipment. That sparkler has a spark. Spark is one, but the circle is also of the nature of light. But where is the circle appearing? In its own absence. Ego is expressing in its own, is existing in its own absence. So, who is this person? Seema. What is your identity? What is your take on the word Seema? What comes to your mind? Is it with some reference or is it without reference? Majority people, I am this person. I am a Swami. If Kacha Swami. So what is Kacha Swami? I am the son of my parents. I had this past and I was doing this, I was doing that. Then one day I went to the ashram, I studied, now I'm confusing people. आ गया. So we are not talking about that fellow who is imagining that he is this, who is born as a result of a referential existence. Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, knowing, waking, dreaming, sleeping. All these are referential eyes. All these eyes put together is called ego. Keep that away. The equipment, who is making this equipment function? The God, that he will explain that in our, we are already explaining it, but let's see what Gyaneshwari Maharaj says in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a few moments.
Recording stopped.